Yo, what's up, everyone? Oh, look at that. I'm nice and small. Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome. Thank you for joining me. Turning Goochineese is back. I'm going to be doing this daily. Going to be talking about all the things, but this one I really wanted to discuss. And see, the Goochineese is coming out right now. Um, this is a tough subject for me. This is me exposing myself to all of you, bearing myself to all of you, and this is very difficult for me. I've told my story a couple times on cannolis and copas. I've told little snippets of my life, and the things I've dealt with. Um, there's a lot of people out there that struggle with mental health awareness, and it is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. And I thought this is a perfect time to start off turning Goochineese with this subject. Before we get started, if you're having trouble, with mental health awareness, that you can call the number 988, I believe. I know that's in Canada. I don't know if it's international. I believe it's international. But if you are struggling with that, please call. If you need to talk to anyone, talk to someone, please. Um, Even if it means sending me a DM just to say, "Hey, what's up?" I'll respond back. Um, so talking about this, I didn't know where I was going to start with this. And I'm a little nervous. I'm not going to lie. I have the everyone knows me as Gooch, but my real name's Jay. I go by Jay, and my whole life I've had this shell, and I've contained all this emotion inside, and I was afraid to let it out. I was afraid to show it to anyone, um, just based on just the struggles. I've swam in the darkness, and when I mention the darkness, and you're sitting there going, "Jay, the light's on." Yeah, the light's on for a reason, because I don't want to be lurking in the darkness anymore. I want to be in the light. I want to be a little more positive in life. I want to help people. I want to support people. Um, I wasn't the best guy for the longest time. I wasn't the nicest guy for the longest time, and now reflecting on my life, there's a lot of things I could have done better. But that's the past. I can't live in the past, and I've spent so much time living in the past, thinking about the things I did and punishing myself for those things, and I can't do it anymore. So I want to really do something special for me. This isn't, and I'm not looking for any empathy, sympathy, whatever you want to call it. I'm not looking for that. I don't need that. I just need you guys to be the best you. And that's a phrase that's a phrase that has been thrown around quite a bit quite recently. So um I'm going to start off because I didn't know how I wanted to start this off, but I'm going to start this off talking about me and the stuff that I struggle with. Um yes, I struggle with mental health awareness. To the point of 2003. So 2003, I've left my now ex-wife. I left my 3 kids. I had to leave. It was not a healthy relationship. It was a toxic relationship. She's a good woman. I don't like that's has nothing to do with any of this, but we were just not on the same page. And leaving that behind, trying to do the right thing, trying to be a man, like because that's what you're told as a kid is to be a man, to respect women, to do your duty. You're not allowed to cry. You're not allowed to be show weakness. And I'm 6'2". Some of you met me in Vegas. I'm a big guy, and you're like, oh yeah, like you have this intimidating figure, coming at you. So yeah, it's there. I do have insecurities. I do struggle with a lot of things, just like you guys. If you do have those, but in 2003, I went down a very dark, very dark path. Just you know, doing a lot of drugs, drinking a lot of alcohol, especially spiced rum. Not a healthy lifestyle. All the depressants you can think of. Um, a Tuesday night in late summer, and I know that I can, as much as I was intoxicated and all the powder around me and everything, and sitting at a table in my apartment in Selkirk, Manitoba, alone, uh, just you know, sitting there at the kitchen, well, my dining room table in my apartment, feeling sorry for myself, thinking about all the failures that I've that I've had, and just wallowing in like just everything and just sitting in that silence and that muck. I'll never forget it that, I had Phil Collins playing "Can You Feel It in the Air Tonight?" That song's playing in the background. I went out and I got a gun from, someone that I knew, not a very nice person, affiliated with a certain gang, if you know what I mean, and, gave me this gun, and I remember it clear as day because it had hockey tape around the handle, and it was an old, 38, and I remember sitting there wanting to pull the trigger and kill myself. Now, this is not something I like. I don't like to like really. It's not something to brag about. It's not something you really want to share with everyone. But um, that was a very, very extremely dark moment. But as I'm sitting there with a gun in my hand, looking to end my life, I got a phone call on my flip phone in 2003. Um, my I see your comments, guys. I appreciate all of you. Thanks for joining me. As I'm holding this gun, thinking about ending my life, I got a phone call from the one person that was always in my corner, that always checked down on me. And for whatever reason, she called me at the right moment. My Aunt Gladys called me, seeing how I was doing. She knew that I was intoxicated. She knew something was off, just by the way I was responding on the phone, tears going down my face. And she she was one of those she's one of those people that's very direct and very militant in the way she approaches things. And she said, "What the hell are you doing?" And this woman was one of the most resilient women I've met. There's two women I've met that are extremely resilient in my life, and my Aunt Gladys is one of them. And she she had polio as a young when she was younger, unable to walk. She had her crutches, but that didn't stop her. She continued with her life. She always had a smile on her face, and she was such a positive woman. Um, and her laugh like is just so catchy. But she called and told me I need to get my shit straight. Um, I put the gun down. Let some tears out with my Aunt Gladys, and I kind of just reflected on what am I doing with my life? What am I actually doing? Like is this good for my children? Is this good for anybody? Um, and that was a very, very heavy moment for me. It's just I woke up in the next morning in a puddle of puke and on the floor, and I that day I woke up and I said I need to make some life changes. I started going to the gym. I started cleaning myself up. I stopped drinking. I'd have one or two drinks, but I stopped drinking completely. I stayed away from drugs. I started working on myself. But everything that happened after that, there was always that, I call it the shadow behind me, just pulling me back and wanting to whisper in my ear and tell me that you're worthless, you're not worth it. It always would creep in, and I had those moments. It didn't get any better when I had the concussions I did. I played sports my whole life. I played tons of sports, a lot of head injuries, like boxing, kickboxing, football, hockey, you name it. And in 2008, the summer of 2008, driving home from work, I um, I got T-boned by another person so badly that it rolled me onto another car at the stop sign on the next lane over, on the street over. And I remember getting out of the car, looking at the guy, and I remember him laughing at me. That's the last thing I remember. What happened with that is that I had a brain shear. And if you guys don't know what a brain shear is, I got it right here. The brain shearing injuries, known as diffuse axonal injuries, occur when the brain is forcefully moved and rotated inside the skull, causing long nerve fibers to tear and shear. I had it so bad that I had a bleed in my head. So and it wasn't caught at first. I kept on feeling nauseated and sick the days after. I couldn't be in a vehicle. People would have to pull over for me to vomit, and everything was dizzy. And I went back to the hospital, and they caught the bleed, and they said that I had severe concussions. Now, fast forward, moving forward from that, I had another rollover. I had some black ice, and I rolled my truck 3 times into the ditch, and I tore my back muscle. I had another concussion. Um, After that accident, I noticed myself getting very depressed, very quiet. I didn't want to be around people. My anxiety was extremely bad. The internal thoughts in my head was unbearable. Walking into a room of people, I would see someone just glance at me, and I would think they're talking about me, negative about me. And it was not, and I know it wasn't true. It's very exhausting. People don't understand, like, you're constantly telling yourself that's not true. That's not true. They're not talking about you. They're not talking about you. And I had to deal with it. I still deal with it. I still have anxiety. People, like, I'm in the mall or something, and people look at me, and they're like, I'm like thinking, are they looking at me? They're talking about me. Why are they looking at me? And and I have to constantly tell myself, that's not true. That's not happening. You got to just keep moving forward. You got to put this past you. So all those injuries, that happen in the concussions and the trauma to the brain, going to the neurologist, dealing, and thank God I had my chiropractor, my good friend, my chiropractor, had the neurologist look at my brain, and looking at the CT scans and seeing the brown spotting on my brain. And I know that's scary for, I know a lot of people hearing that, but there's some spotting in the brain. He just looked at me and said, "How do you function?" And I'm like, "I just deal with the pain because of the neck, because I have a fracture in the neck." And he just kind of like, "Do you struggle with anxiety? Do you struggle with your emotions? And I'm telling him, yes, yes, yes. But I just keep moving on. I just take it day by day. That's all I can do. And that's when I just got really concerned. When a neurologist is looking you straight in the eyes and saying, "How do you function?" Um, that's a big wake up call. So I started doing crossword puzzles. I started doing other puzzles to keep my brain active, and that's when I started drawing to keep my brain active. But I never really focused on me. I was always focusing on how do I kind of heal the injuries. I never thought about healing myself. And so I I I went through a period of being in a relationship, being stuck in a job, being stuck in on all these places that were negative. We're negative. And I'm, what I mean by negative is just like, it wasn't like completely awful, like, where like the relationship wasn't like completely awful. It was just not a healthy relationship. We both were on different paths. We were both just, different areas of our life. Um, and My job is a very negative place to work in. I worked with at-risk youth. You're hearing about stories that are not the stories for the average person to hear. They're very dark. So you're living in that darkness 24/7. And I was always trying to fight it. I was always trying to get past it. And I thought I was. I really did. Um, until a couple years ago, a good friend of mine, who was a psychologist, she started, me and her started talking about the similarities we had growing up, and the struggles we've had. And she said, "You need to start learning to love yourself. You stop punishing yourself. You need to learn to accept compliments. You need to, and it's not going to happen overnight. This is going to be a long term thing to work on." And I really, really struggled with that because I don't like the praise. I shy away from it. Um, I struggle with, the word love. That's a big no no for me. Because again, that's me protecting myself. It's just it's really tough to give all of yourself to something or someone, and when you have these things inside your head, um, so like anyway, going on, I spent a whole year focusing on myself and focusing on what I need to do to be a better person. I started YouTube. I started a channel because I was going to do a book with someone, and we thought, let's start a channel. And I started hosting, started talking to people, started meeting a lot of people, and started talking about like some of the mental health issues, started talking about, the struggles of, going through poverty or traumas or everything, and getting their stories, and learning how to overcome them, and not wanting to go backwards. And that's where I started feeling good. I started feeling like I was doing something, and it was good to get that all off my chest, having these little stories here and there. Um, and then this year, I made some major changes. Things really changed for me, um, where I know what I needed to do to be a better person for me. And that meant ending a relationship, being on my own, and finding actual someone who wants to support and care for you, and express all the things that you need, and give that back to someone. And so this was a big year for me to do all that. It's not an easy thing to do. There's hurdles, there's barriers, but you need to push past them. And my friend who wrote a book, um, his name's his name's Jay McLean. I grew up with Jay McLean, and he wrote these two books, and they're great reads. I highly recommend them. Um, I grew up with Jay McLean here, and we went to school together. We're very, very close friends. I still talk to him. He wrote this book, One Drop of Water, and it hits all the notes, especially for men and anyone dealing with mental health. Um, and he also wrote another book. He just recently released this one, The Monarch Butterfly Effect, uh, Mental Health Morphosis. And I highly recommend checking out these books on Amazon. Great reads, great help, and he he has a story as well that is um, really like interesting one. Um, and for him to get through and push through what he went through in life and still be here today is amazing too. The resiliency. I always use the word resiliency, because I just think it's like incredible that people can, have these traumatic things happen to them. And yes, you're gonna sit in it, you're gonna feel like you're in this pool of just darkness, but then you pull yourself out of it and you live your life, and you you keep pursuing on, and it's an amazing thing to do. um and he's one of those people. I'm one of those people. There's other people I know that have done that. It's really wonderful to see. And I love hearing those stories. Just like this guy here, Trent Shelton. He he has a podcast, and it's on Spotify. He's on YouTube. Started listening to him. It was recommended to me by um, my partner there, and she said, "Try listen to this." And this is really hit me a lot with a lot of the words he used. And I'm going to talk about a lot of the things that he talked about. And I the one that I really like, that I listen to on Spotify, and I highly recommend listening to this, is this one here. Stop lying to yourself. And that's why I put it in the title, because we do that. We lie to ourselves thinking, "Oh, I'm good. I'm okay." Like I those phrases, "I'm okay, I'm fine." They're we both know, we all know we're lying to ourselves about that. We know that, right? But we just say that just to get by, and you just keep moving on, to keep just get through the day. tomorrow will be a new day. I just got to get through today. Tomorrow will be a new day. Well, no, we got to stop lying to ourselves. We need to be real. We need to express ourselves. We need to talk about these things. I'm talking to you about myself, and it's tough. It's really tough for me to talk about these things. Um, I just I did a lot of I did a lot of not nice things um, when I was younger. Um, but I can't harp on that. I gotta move on. I gotta change my life. I gotta help people. I'm not that person. I made mistakes. Those are failures. And one phrase that I love that, and don't let your failures stop you. You can't let your failures stop you. Even the simple thing is YouTube. I see so many people get on YouTube and they're not getting the numbers, they're not getting the subs. On what am I doing wrong? You got to just keep pursuing it. You got to just look at changing things. Maybe like you got, if you have a honest passion for this, you need to pursue it. Um, I see this the super chats. Graph, what up? See you. I see you, buddy. Thank you so much. And J Rex, thank you for being a member, bud. Um, yes, Emperor Goodwin, your failures are the best teacher you'll ever have. Absolutely. I do want to get in the comments before I get into what Trent Shelton um, talked about in that stop lying to yourself. Quick shout outs to everyone here, and thank you so much for joining me. This is tough for me to talk about these things, but I had to do it, and it's I think it's when you see me on here, you have the name Gooch and you have this persona and everything, and I try I'm being myself most of the time, but there's times where you amp it up, but I want to talk about the things that are like they're happening inside, like, and it's not always the best. Yeah, I would only mess up the live stream. B-Man's here, thank you. You have Emperor Goodwin that's here. Rhino, thank you for joining in. J-Rex, thank you so much. Cannoli, thank you. Corn Boy, what's up? Negris, Snape, Gooch, I applaud you. As a man that tried the self-deletion at the beginning of last year, people have to realize mental health is real. It is real. And thank you for sharing that. That's not easy to share. I don't know if you're on meds. I was put on meds, I want to say about 7 years ago. And it wasn't good. It wasn't good. It made me suicidal to the point where twice I almost drove off a ditch and tried to end myself into a bridge, into water, and I stopped myself the last second. And the second time was wanting to drive into the next lane in an oncoming semi, and I stopped myself. I got off those meds. Those meds, they were not good. Now I'm not. They were not good for me. They were probably not, and they're not the right med. Now I'm not saying medication's bad. That's not what I'm saying. It just didn't work for me, and I made a promise to myself that I'm going to work on myself. I'm going to get better. I'm going to work on the things I need to do to become healthy and have a better mindset. And recently I lost sight of that, and I needed to get back into that mindset. Um, uh, Shout out to everyone here. Terrace, thank you. What's up? Thank you for joining me. Hypnotic, I see the Death Note Bible in the background. Yeah, yeah, the irony. Thank you, Hypno. Thanks for joining. Appreciate you, brother. Hooks here. Thank you so much. Troll Monger, what's up? I know some people were on the other one. What's up, Kata? Good to see you, brother. Always good to see you. Rick Costa, as men, we're told to just man up and deal with it. That's not good enough. It's not good enough. I spent my whole life dealing with that. Every coach I had a very direct approach. Either it was like in mixed martial arts or football or hockey or volleyball. It was that hard approach. Concussions didn't exist when we were kids. I was a running back or slot back. I would get hit a lot. And you believe it or not, I was only a buck, maybe a buck 40, buck 50. What's up, Star Wars Marvel Peers? I would come to, sometimes I would come up and to the coach. I'm like, hey coach, I'm not feeling the best. I might have to take a breather. And he's just like, suck it up. You're getting back in there. And it's like, all right, yep, okay. meantime, I don't remember the couple of plays that happened before that. And it's just like, all right. Hi Barbie, thank you for joining. Um, Negrinol, I see you. Tech Rat, what's up? Always good to see you, Tech Rat. Valiant, good to see you. Cajun Corey, what's up, Corey? Good to see you too, bud. Um, and yeah, fake it until you make it can be a dangerous path. Exactly. Um, and I don't want to be that person that lived a life knowing I could have done better, um, and not keeping the promises. And this is the big phrase that Trent Shelton talks about is keep the promises you made yourself. So in that podcast, Stop Lying to Yourself, he talks about these things, and I think like it just it hit so hard for me hearing that. Um, yeah, and I lost that. I didn't keep those promises. For whatever reason I got away from it, and I just got into this rut of trying to do YouTube, trying to just, be consistent and I was focused, but I was not being real. I was not being in the moment. And I don't want to live a life like that. Um, what's up? Uh, Gooch's biggest fan. Um, yeah, I really liked this podcast, um, where he talks also about be aware of your consistency. That was another moment I really liked hearing. You got to be. I wake up every morning now. I do my exercises. I do what I need to help myself feel good. Okay, I did that. I knocked that out of the park. Go for a walk, get some sunlight. I do those things for me. Do I do puzzles still? Yes, I do these little puzzles. I'm on my phone. I'm doing puzzles. It drives people nuts sometimes, but I'm doing it to keep my brain active and thinking of uh, you know, like I do these little connect dot puzzles. I do crossword puzzles on my phone just to keep my brain activated because I don't want to get into this numb feeling that I'm so afraid of. I was a paramedic for almost 15 years. I've seen guys with concussions. I've seen with guys with brain trauma that just did nothing from. They ate unhealthy. They drank. They did all the wrong things you're supposed to do. Even guys that were a father and married and you think they were living a normal life, struggled. They would go home and lock themselves in a room or be just at the dinner table staring into nothing or just listening to their family talk and not really being in the moment. Um, Agent Corey, I've been dealing with depression since I was a teenager. I don't take medication, but one issue I have is dwelling on the past, wishing things that could be different. Ah, Corey, dude, I feel you, man. I struggled with that a lot. I struggled with that a lot as well. But one person that told me, and Stacy, I know you're listening, but the way she put it is, you got to look through the windshield and stop looking in the rearview mirror, man. You're moving forward. Quit letting that past drag you back. You got that's the thought process you have to have. What am I going to do to become a better person? How do I make it day by day? How do I become happier with my life? And not saying that, don't take medications. That's, again, I'm not saying that, but you have to have that mindset and you can do it. You can do it. If I can do it, of all people, um, that has actual brain trauma, that gets stuck in thought process, gets stuck with my words sometimes. Yeah, I'm not articulate. I'm not. So if you're looking for some nice dialogue, some nice language, you're calling the wrong guy. There's a reason why this is called Turning Goochineese. But I had people help me with that. Um, Again, my friend, she was there for me. I've had others, say, you can get through this. Um, didn't really listen to them as much, but it was nice to hear. But there's always that one person that can help you and be alongside for you and support you. And Corey, I hope you have a person. If not, dude, hit me up. Um, and we can talk about it. But I believe you can move past that. Yeah, this is very important. Yeah, thank you. Tech rat, I know I hit 300 pounds before I forced the change, and it helped the mind a lot once I started taking care of my body more. Yeah, man. Like, that's the other thing is we get so stuck in our ways. And I'm kind of going on a tangent here because I want to get back to Trent Shelton podcast here, but we get so stuck in our ways that you think you're okay, but you're stuck eating the wrong foods. You're stuck drinking alcohol, smoking joints, doing drugs, playing video games, 8 to 14 hours a day, trying to escape reality because you don't want to deal with it. Um, you have to make that change. If you're not going to make that change, you're always going to be stuck there. It's this is, and I'm going to go into again what Trent Shelton said on his podcast there. Stop lying to yourself. What you don't own, you cannot change. Huge. I love that comment. The past is done. You can't change it. You can't change it. It's done. It's behind you for a reason. You got to let it go. Yeah, it's going to creep up. I mentioned the shadow. Like I wrote a song about that, but like it always grabs you in the shoulder and wants to pull you back. Always wants to creep in. It happens to me still. It still happens to me still. But you gotta fight it. You gotta just sit there and go, I can't allow this to overtake me. Not today, not tomorrow. I gotta think forward and move forward. Cannoli. I think a lot of people feel like they're stuck in a mundane Monday through Friday work, eat, sleep routine, and they feel like they can't break out of it. I know I'm definitely been there. Yeah, that's the other thing. Work. I'm on stress leave right now because of the job I'm on. It wasn't healthy to the point where I needed a change. I needed to get out of there. I needed to think of myself. But again, I had someone talk to me about that, and I strongly encourage talking to someone. If you don't talk to someone, you're always going to be stuck. You're always going to be lagging behind, and in that mundane work period, or toxic environment, whatever it is. I also suffer like my daughter does with OCD. Me too, bud. I can't let things go. I obsess over things, and it literally causes me physical illness. That's how I got the shingles with severe stress. Yeah, man. Thank you for sharing that, Cannoli. I appreciate that. Um, I struggle with that sometimes too. But this year, since I would say February this year, maybe January this year, I said to myself, I can't let everything that bugs me overtake my mind. And there's moments I still do that. There is I just had again last week. I had that moment dealing with things, and it sucks, but you have to talk about it. You really do. You really have to talk about it. You have to share it with someone that you feel that is non-judgmental, that's willing to support you and just listen to you. Um, I'm not here to tell you guys that I got the answers because I don't. I'm just here to tell you how I do things, how I've gone through things, the mistakes I've made, the people that I lean on, the people I listen to you guys. Like you guys in the chat are amazing. I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys joining me through this. It helps me. Honestly, this helps me talking about this. You guys sharing, me sharing, this is great. My father, when I was younger, had a stroke while driving me home. The car crashed in our street, and I pulled his body out of the car. Needless to say, he landed in a coma and never came back. Fun times. Damn, Hypno. I'm sorry you went through that, man. But the one thing I know about you, Hypno, and I've learned from you, bro, is you got to work hard. You got to have that mindset, and you can't let the past drag you back because you have resiliency, dude. You are the most hardworking individual I know. And you've taught me a lot of things. I'm 53 and I'm learning things from people still. That's the other thing. I see people not wanting to learn things or listen to other people. They're younger. I don't need to listen to them. Or what does she know? What does he know? Like, just listen. There's nothing wrong with listening to people. Um, Thank you, Hypno brother. Um, Happened many years ago. It's all good. Yeah, but still sharing that, bro. People understand you a little bit more when you say those things. When we talk about these things, people get to know you. They see you is for the mask that you're wearing on streams, or the mask you're wearing at work. Talking about these things let people know who you actually are. And me, I, I I'm a caring guy. I'm a supportive guy. For years I've guarded myself, extremely guarded myself. I didn't love anybody because I didn't love myself. I wouldn't let anybody in. There was no one worth my love. Um, so like it was just one of those things that I had to really focus on of how do I become a better person? Star Wars Marvel purist, sorry. Yeah, can't focus on would you, should you, Corey. Just learn from your mistakes. Only look to the past for nostalgia, for awesome IPs that are destroyed in this timeline, not for reality of life. Yeah. Um, yeah, a lot of people saying sorry. And yeah, that's why I don't drink or smoke. Personally, I saw the downfall of its ways. Most people don't. Exactly. That's why I don't drink. That's why I don't smoke. That's why I don't do those things. Because it really can cloud your judgment and it can, that shadow behind you can pull you in when you're like that. And it just makes you more depressed. It kicks up your OCD, your anxiety. Um, Self accountability is huge. Yeah. Accountability is massive, dude. Hold my doolies. How's it, brother? Listening to you while at the gym. Thanks, brother. Um, I fortunately did my partying at a young age, miraculously survived it all, and fortunately had my oldest daughter who became my guardian angel and changed my ways. That's awesome to hear their Star Wars. It's good to hear, man. But a lot of like you guys, when we talk about having a partner or someone to lean on, that is awesome. No better feeling in the world. But it's about you. What are you doing for you? Like, having them, you can rely on them. They're there for you. They're support units. That's one thing. But the one thing we need to focus on is how do we become better? How do we become a better person? How do we become happier in life? And that's what gets lost sometimes. We get a person in our life and they're supportive and everything, and you're like, oh, this is great. I feel so good. I feel like my life can go on now. But you're not really dealing with the things that are happening inside. You're just shuffling them away again. You're just sweeping them in under the carpet a little bit, where that shadow comes out and pulls you on the shoulder and say, hey, remember me? And it's just, those are the things we need to focus on, is ourselves. Don't focus on other people and why they're there. Focus on yourself. Um, Easy to fucking say. Yeah, you're right. It's easy to fucking say. Actions, accountability. Takes a long time to do that. I hear you, J Rex. Um, you are going to fall down, but it's up to you to get back up. There might be people to help you, but it's up to you to get back up, dude. Um, and when you do get back up, why did I fall down? Why am I stuck? If we don't look at those questions or reflect on those things, we're always going to be falling down and expecting someone to help us, or eventually we just never get back up. Um, Isaac, isolating myself is when things get bad, not a social butterfly, but we need positive human interactions with family and friends. Absolutely, dude. I'm having positive interactions with you guys. I want to hear from you guys. I'm not going to have the answer. Like, I'm not here to give you answer. I'm here to talk about what I experienced, what I'm doing to become a better person. I'm still doing that day to day. I still struggle. I listen to Trent Shelton's podcast. I listen to other podcasts, um, and I challenge myself. And if we don't challenge ourselves, then we're going to get stuck, and we're going to have those moments of um, worse mental illness, accepting schizophrenia and severe bipolar, um, and severe pain. Yeah. Good one. Yeah, my attempts to control things. I couldn't gave me a nice stress induced LAD heart attack 8 years ago. Yeah, dude. I know you talk about that. That's what I mean. Like if we don't if we don't talk about the things, if we don't challenge ourselves, we don't express these things, we're gonna have heart attacks. We're gonna have strokes. We're gonna have these deep, dark depressions. We're gonna have these moments locked up in a room thinking, I should just end it right now. It I'm gonna share something right now. This is tough for me. My kids, 2 out of 3 of my kids don't talk to me because of the divorce and everything. I'm labeled Satan from that relationship. Um, my son who does talk to me struggles with depression, anxiety, severe depression, um, because of me leaving, and he didn't know how to cope with that. I was his world. Um, Plus, he was bullied severely in school. We reconnected 10 years ago. Um, Played hockey together, the best times. Discussed all the things that he wanted to know about me. Um, Me telling him that I had to live out of my car for 3 months because I was working as a paramedic, but I had no money coming in because of spousal and child support. Being kicked out of my apartment, um, struggling to just get by day, not being even when I was able to see my kids, I couldn't see them because I didn't have a vehicle, I didn't have money, um, or I was so caught up in my own self pity that I was so intoxicated and hungover that I would call sick. Not good. But we had those discussions. Um, Couple years after, I got a phone call at work. Um, I needed to go to Selkirk Hospital because my son tried to commit suicide. Um, Over 60 plus Gravol pills and a 2 liter of vodka he downed. He needed a stomach pumped and he was in a coma for a good chunk of the day. Thankfully, he woke up. Um, that moment, when you see your kid kill yourself because of the mistakes you make, it's not good, man. You got to do better. Got to do better. And apologies, like it's a tough moment, but you almost lose your son because you're being selfish and you're only worrying about yourself, but you don't think about how it affects others. I wouldn't want that for anyone. And so getting back to the Trent Shelton podcast, listening to the things he talks about. Now, Trent Shelton lost his mother. His daughter was in an accident that led to brain. She had bleeding of the brain as well. They discovered a tumor, and he went into a deep depression. And he started changing the ways of his life and became this coach and the speaker on mental health awareness, especially for men and everyone. um, but his words are powerful when you listen to him. There's a lot of meaning and you sit there and you go, yeah, man, like, why am I not doing that? Why? Like, you're right. I need to do this. I need to be better. Um, Rick Costa, my ex divorced me out of the blue, literally, and I saw my son on weekends. But when he became a teen, he pretty much wanted nothing to do with me. It hurt so bad, but we're good now. Thank God. Uh, thank, thank God. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, that's a dark place, Rick, man. I've, I've been there, but you're here today. We're here today. We're all here today to become better people. Um, yeah, hypnotic hook. Thank you. Um, Good one. I feel you, Gooch, but everyone makes their own choices. You can think about your contributions to those choices, but they make them in the end. Exactly. Um, it's especially hard to realize that with your kids. Yeah. Uh, I have to get back to work. Thank you, Gooch, for the advice. May hit you up for more. Absolutely, brother. Anytime. Thank you, Corey. Um, yeah. Doolies for $10. Thank you, you guys. Thanks for sharing that, bro. My dad and I had a really rough relationship, and didn't talk to each other for almost a decade. We reconnected a couple years ago, and wish we hadn't lost that time. Yet that always creeps in your head, dude. Like that time lost. That time lost. We can't dwell on that. Yes, it's going to come up here and there, but we got to think of the time now, and the time moving forward. Because if we sit there, and I'm guilty of it, if we sit there and just think of like, oh, like, I've had a lot of trauma as a kid. I've had a lot of fighting, a lot of physical abuse against me. I've had a lot of things that happened to me. I saw a lot of very, very, very ugly things in my life. But if I sit there and dwell on that and sit there and let that sit in my mind, and I wouldn't be here today. Thinking about my son, um, if I sat there and thought about all the things I coulda, shoulda, coulda done, again, not healthy for me. What I needed to do, and he sent me a long message saying how proud of he was of me, and how I, you know, of you know, reached out to people, supported people, and done this YouTube thing, and chased my dreams of um, being a personality, and doing something for myself. It inspires him to do something for himself. He wants to be, you know, he's kinetic, so he wants to work with his hands. He wants to do construction, all that stuff, which is great because he was lost. That's the best thing in the world, is when your kid sends you a message saying, you inspired me to become better and do something for me. That is the best thing in the world. Uh, Gooch's inbox, but yeah. Um, Nagrinol, Luke 18:14. Jesus says, "For everyone who exalts himself will be humbled, and he who humbles himself will be exalted." So true. No coincidence. No coincidence that that was today's verse. Oh wow. Okay. Thanks, Nags. Appreciate that. Um. Um. Yeah. A lack of forgiveness is a root of bitterness, poison. And I was just going to talk about that. J Rex, thanks for sharing. Um. Don't become like me. We punish ourselves way too much. I punish myself a lot. I never think I'm worthy, or I'm not good enough for anything. But I had to let that go as well. That is like my psychologist friend, told me, like, you got to stop punishing yourself. You're better than that. You got to start listening to the words that people tell you. And I actually started listening to some of the things people tell me, and maybe I am a good person. No, I am a good person. I'm not the person I was before. So, but yeah, getting back to this Trent Shelton podcast, um, taking ownership of your life was a big thing for me. Um, that's me every day of my life. Yeah, we all have to work on that. We can't let that mindset take control. We got to think better for ourselves. It's tough. It's like like I could sit here and say it and you're like, yeah, yeah, that's fucking great. But like what are you actually doing? Well, I'm actually doing things for myself. I'm being more creative. I'm in a great relationship, the most amazing relationship, the most amazing partner I could ever ask for. I love her more than anything in the world, and she loves me more than anything in this world. We support each other. Um, I'm doing things that I normally wouldn't do. I'm writing songs. I'm challenging myself. I'm editing more. I'm doing this right now. Like I'm talking to you guys about me, and that's not easy, but I have to do it. Why sit there and say, "Hey, mental health awareness, yeah, go, be aware of it. Go do something that's good for you." No, that's not good enough. We have to be better. We have to talk about these things. Um, so true. It's such a hard thing to unlearn. One day, it is one day at a time. Yeah, don't allow it, man. You just don't allow it. I am so happy for you, Gooch and Badger. I joke. um, the other thing he mentions, Trent Shelton, um, in his podcast, stop taking opinions of yourself. That is tough. That's really tough. But he's right. We have these opinions of ourselves, and we sit there again. We punish ourselves. We self-reflect, and we think about the failures we did throughout the day, or the mistakes that we had throughout the day, and then we sit there and we just get ourselves right back to square one, and we have to fight to get back again. Where do we want to be? So yeah, stop taking opinions of yourself. And the big thing that I love that he says is don't avoid your best life. Yeah, I'm going to live my best life. I'm going to do what's best for me. And what's best for me is doing this, talking to you guys, talking about what I do to be a better person, doing the YouTube thing, having fun with that, hanging out with good friends, having a partner that I really truly love and she loves me, and wanting to share our lives together. Um, those are things, now I say that, oh, Gooch, love. Yeah, I'm saying love. I never said that word. And if my mom's listening in the chat, let the chat know. I don't say the L word. I refuse to say the L word. I'll say that to my friends and stuff. Yeah, I love you guys, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's one thing. But to actually say love and actually there has to be meaning behind it, never. I would never actually say it and actually mean it. Uh, just recently, with the person that I've met in my life, learned what love is. Love is something that is so deep in your soul that when you leave that person, it feels like your soul is being ripped out of your chest. That was a first for me. I've never experienced anything like that. That's when I knew this was the person that I needed to be with. That I could truly see myself growing old with. Now, if you're in a relationship and you're like I was in this kind of roommate situation where you're just kind of going through the mundane daily life work schedule, um, reflect on why you're together. Now, I'm not saying in your relationship thing, but you need to have those conversations with each other. You really do, and we don't. We're so stuck in those little moments where everything is so fast paced, everything's so quick, everything's so self gratification. What are we doing? What are we doing with our lives, man? We got to be better than that. we gotta be able to open up to our partners. We gotta be able to open up to people. We need to be more creative. We have to listen to everyone instead of just being opinionated. Like, and that's what we're seeing right now in the world. We're seeing this left versus right mentality, and no one's actually listening to each other. It's just, I don't like you. You're this. You're being so judgmental and painting everyone with one big broad brush. It's not healthy. It's not good. We're better than that as human beings. So again, going back to the Trent Shelton podcast, which I highly recommend listening to on Spotify. If you don't have Spotify, he's on YouTube. But incredible discussions like this, and it really wakes you up, and it challenges you, and it pushes you. If you don't want to be challenged or pushed, then you're going to be stuck where you are. You have to be ready to accept it. That's the other thing. Is like, you really got to be real with yourself. Can only stop using social media so much and don't listen to the media. They're both cancers on the world. Exactly. You know you love someone when you want to be a better person, not because they expect or demand it, but because you believe they deserve the best version of you, and you want to give that to them. Exactly. I'm in the space I am right now. Excuse me. In the space I am right now, I'm willing to sacrifice everything to be with the person I'm with, because I feel what love is now. She's unlocked something in my heart that has never been unlocked before, and hopefully the same for her. And well, I know if the same for her. If you have that partner, have those conversations. Don't get stuck into that routine. You always have to communicate with each other. Talk about how you're feeling. Express those things. Let them understand what's going on. If we don't, then we start to push them away. You start to get into that roommate situation. You start getting into that ugly routine. If you love each other, talk to each other. Don't be judgmental. Just listen. It might hurt. Some of the things that might be said might hurt you. But you know what? That's how they're feeling. Accept it. Uh-oh, Gooch is now losing the female subs. Yeah. Like the stream and share this to get more eyes and ears in the conversation. Thank you. I appreciate you, Sonia. Thank you so much. Which, again, Trent Shelton podcast. Listen to him on Saturday. Powerful, powerful words. See, Goochineese always kicks in. See how that works. Don't sit in guilt, which I do a lot, and I'm breaking out of that. We all sit in guilt, but he says don't sit in the guilt, and don't let your failure stop you, which I completely agree with. So he came up with the half-year reset plan, where we all, every year, we like January 1st, we have this new, resolutions that we're going to do. We're going to, this is what I have planned. This is what I want to do. I want to have this done within the year. Negrinel, thank you so much, brother, for the $10 super sticker. I appreciate you. What's the sticker? Oh, it's the hypno with the hat flip. Thank you, bro. But he talks about the half year, and this is where, yeah, I appreciate you. Love these messages today, brother. Yeah. Me too. I love them. I'm never angry with you before bed. Good one. And blue collar, before I get into these steps, told a girl I love you on Christmas. She dumps me on New Year's Eve. Lucky to have friends like Goodwin to talk about this shit. Blue collar. I saw your message in the other. I don't know what happened. There was something technical. It said live, but nothing was coming up. But in the other stream there, but you mentioning you only have a few friends on YouTube, and I am your friend, dude. You always can reach out, brother. You know that. So appreciate you. Um, so these 6 steps that he talks about, for me, I had goals that I wanted to do for this year. I wanted to become a full-time YouTuber. I wanted to talk to you guys. I want to talk about animation. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about Predator, Killer of Killers. I'm good when I may need you for that one tomorrow. Um, but like I love talking about animation. I also want to talk about these things. How do we become better? Better for ourselves, better for everyone else? How do we support others? How do we have people support us? All those things. Um, all we did fall in it. Very few of us found a way out of it. The whole thing was meant to be arduous, but now the deck is stacked against too many. They are unfairly drawn into sin instead of choice. Powerful words, Lunar. Appreciate that. Um, so these 6 steps, and thank you, Lunar, for that. These 6 steps. Number 1, he talks about revisit your original vision, which I did after that podcast. I went back and revisited my original plan, which is doing this full time, doing it daily, talking to you guys, talking about the things I love, and not dwelling on a lot of the negatives. So many times we talk about the negatives, and that was a thing that was starting to drive me nuts. Is everything negative, and I am the most guilty one of them all. Uh, what do people always laugh about is I don't like it. Yeah, because I have opinions on things, and I have visions of way things should be done, but I need to be better. I need to be more positive. Yeah. So I wrote down my vision for this year, which is a full-time YouTuber, which I will be doing, talking about animation and talking about mental health and talking about becoming a better person, even talking about growing a YouTube channel, talking about how to start, have that vision, have that mindset. What do I need to do to if you want to be a YouTuber, how do I get to the point where I can maybe do this full time or even doing it part time and be successful with it? Those are things I'm going to talk about on this channel in the future. Uh, no, we're not here to, no, that's not happening. We're not forgiving him. Um, so yeah, those are my plans that I have for myself. Um, uh, Eclectic Goat, good to see you. Someone's talking about men's mental health awareness. I'm so glad I happened to see this. Thank you, Goat. Thank you for joining us. Um, Appreciate you. Um, Number 2 that Trent talks about, uh, identify what killed my consistency. Now, for me, what killed it, I knew right away what killed it, is being stuck in a situation thinking I needed to be there because they needed my support and they needed me to be that person for them. What I lost in all that was me. I wasn't doing anything for me. I was doing the YouTube channel. I was like, I'd go to work, come home, get prepared, do the YouTube channel. I got into that routine. But what was I actually doing for myself? I was like exhausting myself to the point where I was like so fatigued that I was just a shell of a host or a panel guest. I wasn't being me. And I needed to get out of there. I needed to trust me. No, when I say get out of there, that was that wasn't easy because I wanted to push through. I wanted to be strong. But the amount of negativity surrounding me and being in an environment that's so toxic and unhealthy. I'm going to share this with you guys. Standing in the hallway of a school and shaking and tears running down my face, not knowing what the fuck is happening to me. What What is going on? I don't cry. I don't cry in front of anybody. I don't shed tears anyone. Now, the tears are all over the fucking place, like I'm a fucking crying baby here. But I stood there in the hallway and a coworker came up and said, "Jay, you need to go home. You need to do what's best for you. Go out in the parking lot," and having to make a phone call back to the school so because someone's parked behind me so I could get out, triggered me again. And then seeing my friend come out and he's like, "Jay, are you all right?" And I'm shaking. And I'm not talking about just like, "Hey, hey." I'm talking like shaking to the point where I felt like I was having a seizure, for crying out loud, and just tears coming out of my face. And him holding me and go, "Jay, you're okay. You're okay, dude. Get the hell out of here. Go home. Go get help." I called my partner, my love, because she was telling me I needed to, get out of there. She knew it wasn't healthy for me. Other people knew, but I just my pride got in the way. My ego got in the way. I let that get in my way. I didn't do what's best for me. I was being selfish and I was just like trying to do my job and I wasn't doing it. I wasn't there. I was there physically, but I wasn't really doing my job, man. I wasn't being real. I wasn't being me. So yeah, identify what killed my consistency. It was being stuck in a job that was destroying my mind, my emotion, everything. And I had to step away. Am I still struggling with it? Yeah, there's moments where I struggle with it. It's not easy. Having to make a phone call because, there was some mistakes done in whatever, and having to talk to people or even text people and then having that anxiety, that shaking moment again, feeling I'm alone and I'm physically I'm alone. Physically I'm alone. Am I alone? I'm not alone. I have someone who loves me very much and I love them. I have you guys. I'm not alone. You guys aren't alone. If you are alone, if you are feeling alone, again, reach out, talk to someone, reach out to me, send me a message. I have no problem doing that. Again, I'm not going to have all the answers, but I can help you steer you in the right direction. Like the Trent Shelton podcast. Listen to that. Powerful words. Powerful words. Blue collar for $1.99. You accept the bromance. No, I own you, Jay. Yes. Thank you, blue collar. Nothing but love, brother. And I said it, love. The Dooleys. Do you think the fight instinct leads men to try and combat their inner selves if it doesn't meet their expectation? Dude, I'm going to keep that up. The fighter mentality. Now, Dad, my dad's probably listening to this. My dad was a master chef. He has an alpha mindset. He worked with some European chefs, um, being drilled, getting those direct messages. Um, and his father, very kind of militant and direct in the way he approached things. My dad would always say to me, "Do it right the first time, so you don't have to do it a second time." Which I think about, and I always thought about, like, as a kid, is like, that's great and all, but how do we learn from our mistakes? Doing it right, absolutely. He's absolutely right. Do it right. And it probably just an instinctual reaction of just, breaking someone down and then building them back up. Knowing my dad, that's probably what it was. Being a chef and having all these sous chefs and prep cooks and all things coming in, you break them down and you build them up, back up. You do that in the fight game, you do that in the military, you do that. Well, I don't know about so much about the military anymore but you do that in sports. You do that a lot. You break them down. You push them to the limits to see where their breaking point is, and then you build on it. But we have to learn from our mistakes. And if we don't learn from our mistakes, then that's on us. So getting back to this comment of the fighting instincts, yeah, man, I been a fighter my whole life. Um, Not letting anyone in, not sharing with anybody. Um, Always in a fight somehow, either verbally or physically. Now, when I say physically, that's not me going out looking for fights. That's not me at all. I like to laugh and have fun. But there's always that one person that's one of pokes and pokes and if you get me at the wrong moment, at the wrong time, you're gonna get gooch. um, but yeah, that fighter mentality in me is always to push past through it. You suck it up and you keep moving forward. You don't let your freaking emotions get in the way. Put them off the side and just keep moving forward. It doesn't that being in the ring doesn't serve you well. Thinking for a boxer or kickboxer, MMA, whatever, their mentality is that you're the best and no one can stop you. And that's the way I thought is like, I'm not going to let my emotions get the best of me. Well, I was wrong. They did. Um, um, Most are ignorant to why they are still here. Okay. So yeah, identifying number 2, going back to Trent Shelton's podcast, identify what killed my consistency, and it was that place there. And I can't use that as an excuse, but I know that's the reason why. So I still gotta work on that, but that is my reason for what killed my consistency. Number 3, again, is eliminate the excuses, which is oh man, is that hard? That is so hard. Uh, he says, trade your excuses for execution. How many of us, sit there and watch TV instead of working out? How many of us eat fast food because we're feeling too lazy and tired to cook for ourselves? How many of us lay in bed that extra hour because you just feel like garbage and you don't want to get up to face the world? We're all guilty of that. Um, it's you have to. We all have to get that mindset. And again, I keep saying that mindset because it's true. You got to get focused, laser focused on how do I become better? How do I feel better? Wake up in the morning, do an exercise, go for a walk, do something that, is physical. Because once you get that physicality out, then you start feeling good. You relieve some of that stress a little bit. For me, it's working out in the morning, doing what I need to do. I feel good about myself. Then I feel like, hey, now I can tackle all the things I need to do for, like, say, this podcast or for other things I have planned down the road. I tackle the things that I want to do, and I'm relentless. I sit there and I just work on it, editing, creating, all those things. I want to build this channel to the point where I feel good about what I accomplished, and I'm never gonna feel that, but that's what I want to do eventually one day is like, hey, I did something. Did I do something? Yeah, I've done something. I created, you know, Diabolical Souls Presents. I created the Gooch name. Well, I didn't create it. Canoli and Copa created, but I worked with it. The Gooch brands out there, but I'm not going to sit there and say, okay, that's good, and just carry on. I want to just keep moving forward. I want to push myself. I want to challenge myself. And I can't allow those excuses to take over. And I'm fucking so guilty of that. I'll just sleep another hour. Oh, I feel like crap. I feel miserable. I feel, no, no. I gotta fucking be better. You guys gotta be better. We all gotta be better. And we can do it. You can do it. I know you can do it. Yeah, push it to the limit. Push it to the limit, but don't exhaust yourself. Which leads to number 4, which is build your non-negotiable routine. I probably Goochineese that, but good one. I'm sure you can put that in the comments. But non-negotiable routines. So my non-negotiable routine is I'm not streaming on the weekends. I used to stream so much, but there was a method to my madness with that. It was to build this channel and everything, but I fatigued and exhausted myself. And I was in a situation where it was a distraction from what I needed to do. So creating a plan of for myself of I'm not going to stream on weekends. Late night with Gooch and Gang on Sundays is always going to be going forward. That's Sunday nights. But my Saturday and Sundays, they're going to be me, partner, and time for us to, do what we want to do. Evenings. Do I continue doing evenings? No. I want to do this daily. I want to do this daily, Monday to Friday, 11 to whenever time we stop. That's going to be my time slot. Now, will I do the occasional night stream? Yeah, I will. Um, will I go on some other streams during the night here and there? Yeah. I'm not saying like I'm not going to do it at all. But yeah, Rick, I recently cut my daily streaming time in half. Helped me tremendously. Exactly. We think we're building something, and I was caught in this trap. We think we're building something, and I was. You see the numbers, you see things happening, and I've built this up, and I'm not happy where I'm at. I want to push even harder. There's so much inside of me that wants to push so much and be creative. Um, and I want to do it for you guys, but more importantly for me. It's going to help me more than anything. It's going to help me. It's going to help my relationship. It's going to help me in life in general. So yeah, I cutting some of those things out is gonna help me. I got caught in that trap. Um, J Rex, I'll leave then. I'm for you, Gooch. I've said enough. I appreciate you dropping in, J Rex. And the doolies, and don't lie to yourself about what your limit is. Exactly what I'm saying. Um, I was at my limit. I was streaming like there was one day I streamed 8 times in a day. What the hell am I doing? Distracting myself from the real world, distracting myself from what I really needed to do for myself. Not healthy. I was streaming like 2 to 3 times daily, but I was kind of tricking myself thinking like I'm going to build this channel. I'm going to get my name out. I'm going to be everywhere. Like, no, 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 no. It did build the channel, but no, I exhausted myself. Now, doing a daily grind is one thing, but doing multiple streams throughout the day is another. Number 5, and we talked about this on his list, Trent Shelton's list of Stop Lying to Yourself podcast or stream. Um, Accountability. We talked about this. Accountability is tough. Very tough. But we have to do it. It's a tough pill to swallow. You got to be accountable for your actions, man. There's some things that I've done. some things I've said, yeah, I'm accountable for, but I'm not going to let that eat at me. But on the other flip side, accountability, if I don't get up and stream, if I don't get up and do the things I need to do to become a better person, a better podcaster, a better supporter, then that's on me. I, and I need to be held accountable. Exactly. My limitations. Hard pill to swallow, man. Being at that job, trying to push through it, thinking, "Oh, I could do it." I don't want to be seen as weak. Was I weak? Or was I at my limit? Was at my limits. Number 6, um, and I love this, and I think we all should be doing this. Keep one promise to yourself daily. Keep it small and trust yourself. Build that trust within yourself. I love that. So my promise today was to do the stream, even though it was uh, eating at me. Like I was so nervous before the stream, but I had to do it. And the other thing I made a promise to myself, get up and work out. I got up and worked out. I got up and worked out, did the things I needed to do, and do the stream. Do the stream tomorrow. Wednesday, I can't do Wednesday. I'll be at the doctor's. Might try to do it later at a later hour. But yeah, keep one promise to yourself. Thank you, Negrinal. I'm really glad you did this stream. Thank you. Gord King, part of why one has to recognize their limitations is so they can prove. How do you know you're improving if you don't know where the line is? That's a good question. How do you feel? Do you feel like you're improving? Do you feel like you're becoming a better person? Are you staying true to yourself? Are you making those promises? Are you being accountable? Are you sticking to your plan? Are you being consistent? Those things you got to look at. How do you know you're improving? Well, if there's no if there's no movement in your mindset, if you're stuck on that one moment of just, okay, I'm going to do this, but nothing else, and not do the other things that were mentioned, like the 6 steps, or do other things that are good for you, like sharing and talking to someone. And that doesn't mean, having a boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, husband. It could be seeing a psychologist or psychologist, what? No, psychiatrist or psychologist, um, or just going to some group meetings, or even reaching out and talking to someone like myself, or reading a book or watching a podcast. Are you doing those things for yourself? You're always going to have moments, and in those lines that you're talking about, like you don't know where the line is. You'll know it when you feel it. It's it goes in both ways, the negative line and the positive line. Negative line is where you're just wanting to quit. You feel guilt, you punish yourself. That's a line. That's the line you don't want to be at. Positive The positive line is you're always going to be, there is no line. You're always going to be trying to become a better person. When you can objectively measure improvement, then do it. It's a good way to avoid letting your negative feelings color your results. Yeah, there's so many times it gets clouded. by those negative moments. It's like you're wearing a veil or a mask and you're just sitting there. So, so Gord King, like, to answer that question, everyone has a different line. I can't give you an answer to that, and I don't know if you're actually looking for an answer, but everyone has a different line. Everyone has a different breaking moment. Caleb, sometimes you got to cut triggers out of your life, and it can be tough to figure them out. Yeah, triggers, people, media. Sometimes you got to cut that out. Yeah, I know. I was speaking generally, but it's a good one to think about. Exactly. Oh, I know what you meant, but like that, and that's I think that's the biggest thing is like it's good one to think about, and we don't. That's why we're here talking today. Like we always shuffle everything in the back, and then that freaking shadow behind you just grabs you in the shoulder and just pulls you into the darkness and says, "Ha! Now you can sit in it for a while." How do you get yourself out? Nothing changes until you do. You have to make the change. You have to be willing to make the change. You got to stop quitting and you got to be willing to be great. Again, Trent Shelton podcast. Go check it out. My buddy Jay McLean, his books. Go check them out. Highly recommend them. He shares his story right here. The monarch butterfly effect. Mental health metamorphosis. Morphosis. Please go check it out. He also has this one here, One Drop of Water. I have this one here. Great book. Please go check them out if you're interested in a great read. It's my buddy Jay McLean. Also, check out Trent Shelton on YouTube and Spotify. Highly recommend it. That is so both sad and beautiful to hear. True. Blue Collar Loser, man, this is the best stream I could have listened to on my channel's anniversaries, Jay. I would hug you, not in a gay way, Leon, but a man hug. I appreciate you, Blue Collar, and you're a good friend, brother. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, this was a struggle for me to do this. I have been wanting to do this for a long time. I used to do this when I did interviews, talk about mental health awareness. I had Jay McLean on and talked about his book, the butterfly or the One Drop of Water, and I got away from that because I wanted to focus on building the channel and doing all the things then that were needed to build the channel. But I lost my vision, which, again, what was my original vision? So my vision for this channel is to continue talking animation and continue talking about mental health awareness, talking about the daily things in our lives that we can be better at. And I hope you guys all join me. I appreciate all you guys. We got 96 people watching. I appreciate all of you. But yeah, this was a tough one for me today because I shared myself with you guys, and I want you to know, like, yeah, I love to laugh and everything, but I wasn't always the nicest guy. But I can't dwell on that. I have someone extremely special in my life. I have, and I'm extremely lucky that we both love each other. I never thought someone could open up my soul and my heart the way she did. Never, ever, ever thought that. But also to continue that relationship, I had to become better. I had to do things that were not me. I had to let go of a lot of things that held me back. I had to change the way I thought about things. That's tough. That's tough. Extremely tough. You aren't who you are now without being who you were then, Gooch. Exactly. But that's the past. Mistakes, you learn from them. Doolies, thanks for doing the stream. Something I didn't realize I needed to hear. Great job. Thank you. It's amazing to see a charismatic, strong guy be vulnerable and human. I am very human, and I do care. I do care. I care about people. My job, I was a paramedic. I was a crisis counselor. I was a physical education instructor. All I did is care about everyone. I put everyone else first. That's all I did my whole life because I didn't want to deal with myself. And I had someone very special tell me that. You always taking care of everyone else. Always wanted to help everyone else. Take care of them. But you didn't take care of yourself. And she's right. I need to take care of myself. I need to love myself. I just started loving myself in the last year or two. I hated myself. I punished myself for so goddamn long. Man, I punished myself. I hated myself. That's a strong word, hate, but I hated myself. And I'm lucky I'm here today. I'm thankful I'm here today. I'm thankful my kids here today. I'm thankful you guys are here today. I'm thankful for my beautiful partner, a beautiful girlfriend. I'm thankful for my friends. But I'm going to be I want you guys to hold me accountable. I need to be accountable. I need to be better. I will be better. I'm going to do these 6 steps. I believe in them. I strongly believe in these 6 steps. Rick Costa. All we can do is push forward and surround yourself with people that are actually in your corner. Yeah, Rick. Yeah, man. That's the other. He has Trent Shelton has one about the people you hang around with, your surroundings. That is huge. You're gonna do better, Senator. Thanks. I'm thankful not everyone is irredeemable. No, they're not. Rick, I was diagnosed with messianic complex, thinking I could save everyone else, but never think about myself. I know better now. Yeah, dude. You think you're doing something for yourself, but you're not by helping other people. I did that. Not only did I do that, try to help other people and support other people, but I would punish myself on top of that, beat myself up. Community, Gooch's biggest fan. We all can support one another and to be and do better for ourselves and those around us and still have fun. Yes, still have fun. Absolutely. That's another one. Thank you. Thank you, biggest fan. Nothing but love for that person. Fun. That gets lost too. What, like, I'm so glad you brought that up. What have you guys done lately that makes you happy? Like truly happy? What have you done for yourself that makes you happy? And if you don't have the answer, send me the answer. Send it in the comments, send it to me on X. You can contact me there. And I got the yeah, I got it right here on the banner. Hit me up here. Guys like Jay are why I made a channel. Ah, dude, come on, man. That's you, dude. That's all you. Excuse me. Pardon me, guys. But I challenge you guys. I really do. What have you done that makes you happy? Not maybe not today, but yesterday or this week. What are you guys doing to make yourselves happy? What is fun for you? I watched 2 Marvel movies with my bestie that hadn't seen them yet. That was fun for me. Awesome. Something you shared with your friend there. I have fun ripping on Star Wars. Low hanging fruit, though. I know that is fun. About to have fun discussing Rick Remender's. Oh no, Uncanny X Force next Monday. It's not that bad. Um, um, I broke my 33-year-long mental psychosis. Awesome. I hope that's true. That's awesome, Lunar. That is awesome. I'm really happy to hear that. I proposed to my now fiance May 25th, 2025, right before Memorial Day. It was magical. That brought pure joy. Nick, bro, there's nothing better than feeling real love. There's nothing better in the world. Never experienced it. Never ever experienced it. I experienced it now. I wrote a song about it, and I'll play it at the end for you guys. I wrote it. I used AI. That's where we're going. But I'm not a musician, but I can write. I didn't know it, but I can. And I wrote it dedicated to her. She is the one and only true love of my life. Sorry. Stacy, I know you're there. You open up my heart. You have no idea what you've done for me. And I only hope that I can do that for you. Sorry, guys. See, I'm a mess. But that is my one and true love. And I love her. And I always will. Eclectic Goat. Thank you so much for this, Gooch. Men's mental health gets really lost. And in general, seeing someone with a larger channel promotes positivity makes me feel so much more hopeful. Goat, thank you so much for that comment. I appreciate you. Never apologize for being true. These aren't self-centered and they're not wasteful. I trust me, they're not wasteful. I never ever cry, but in the last few like months, maybe even year, probably, um, the tears have been coming out because all that freaking poison inside of me, all that emotion been locked away. Now I can share it, and I can share it with someone special, and I can share it with you guys. Um, so yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I shouldn't apologize for that. You're right. I've been married for 33 years, and my wife has been the source of inspiration for my own improvement throughout the time. That's awesome. Good one. That's awesome. See, I love seeing that stuff. And what's collect a goat? What was fun equals the spring has been 6 new baby goats, 9 lambs, 22 baby rabbits, and yesterday's 16 ducklings. Holy Dinah. That's awesome. Yeah. Men appreciated the women in their lives warms my heart. Absolutely, brother. And that was a first for me. It's a first. She unlocked my heart. She unlocked my soul. And that's a lot for me to take. And I only wish for everyone to have those feelings, to have that that love for someone and have it back. It's incredible. But in order to be that person, we have to do we have to be better. We have to recognize that something may not be right. Something's wrong. And I mean, when I mean wrong, something that inside that you need to talk to someone about. You need to go to the doctor. You need to, just share. And am I wrong for feeling this? We have to we have to just be better. There's a sacredness in tears. They are not the mark of weakness, but of power. They speak more eloquently than 10,000 tongues. They are messengers of overwhelming grief and unspeakable love. Damn, cannoli. Damn, man. Lunar. Well, a few among us will just have to be enough ourselves. I want to be a better person. I always want to be. I always want to challenge myself. I just want to end the stream saying thank you to you guys. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you to Gooch, giving you the biggest hug that your girlfriend would approve of. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you to my friends. Thank you to the people that truly care about me, and you know who you are. Stacy, for loving me, for accepting me, for challenging me, for holding me accountable. I love you with all my heart. You guys are amazing. We need to finish strong. We need to finish this strong. We need to finish this year strong. We need to get back to our visions, identify what killed our consistency. We need to eliminate the excuses, build our non-negotiables, accountability, and keep that one promise to yourself. Those 6 things, Tent Shelton talks about it. We need to do those things. Please go check them out. Please check out the books that I mentioned earlier. Please check out my channel. Continue to be a supporter of this channel. I love you guys. And I'm going to end the stream off with the song I wrote. I hope you like it. Yes, I used AI. I hope you guys appreciate it. Everyone, take care. Be better. Never give up. And talk to someone. Just talk and get the help you need. Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. Everyone, please take care.
Past memories are not who we are. Holding on to something of our own. Guided on a path to one another. Our journey together into the unknown. Lost are the struggles, waking with you beside me. The warmth of your smile has my heart beating so free.